Welcome everybody to the live stream. Good to see everybody out there. And today we're going to talk about how to grow a YouTube channel in 2021. Here's a news flash. It's not going to be that much different than in previous years, but if you have not gotten your channel where you want it to be, so far, 2021 is the time to do it. It's a new year. It's a time to refresh, take a fresh perspective at your channel and what's worked and what hasn't worked, and really try to make the most of it here in 2021. It can be done. Every one of us started at zero. So if you're discouraged by where you are right now, just remember that it just takes a little bit of dedication and consistency to keep moving that ball forward. And that's all we're trying to do here. We're not trying to become an overnight success. Most channels that are successful were not overnight successes. It's all a matter of realizing that this is a marathon approach and working towards achieving that long-term goal. So I see some people out in the chat. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. We have Dinosaur Bro, Divided by Sight, Daughter of Darkness, Aaron Jemison. Good to see everybody. Sal Million. My apologies if I didn't quite get that right. You can let me know in the chat. But yeah, so 2021. I think a lot of people are happy to have put 2020 behind them, and 2021 is certainly an opportunity for us to start fresh and have a new perspective, a positive perspective, and go out and create that brand and audience that we're hoping to create, because never has there been a better opportunity for all of us to create our own business, our own international audience. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, but you have no idea where to start, or you're not getting the type of traction that you envisioned you would, here's a couple things. One, a lot of people feel that way. It's not just you. A lot of successful channels that you see now spent months and years with little to no growth. So you just have to be willing to keep pushing forward, be consistent, and keep making those videos. Each time you make a video, you want to reflect on it and see what you can improve upon. Don't handcuff yourself with the idea of perfection. Nobody is perfect. Even content creators that have been doing videos for years and years and years, they're still not perfect. Don't let perfect prevent you from moving forward. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, Farmstead Smith, good to see you. Soccer Khaled Style, good to see you in the chat as well. So I'd love to know, how was 2020 on YouTube for all of you? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, 2021 is always going to provide us with an opportunity for growth. But did you think 2020 was a good or bad year here on YouTube? Me, I kind of have mixed thoughts about 2020. While I did experience some downturns in some areas, I also had some very positive outcomes as well. It seemed like traffic took a bit of a dip in certain areas, but income was up. So that's certainly a good thing. It's certainly something to build upon. And if you're not familiar with the channel, if you happen to be new to my content on creator fundamentals, I am very much an advocate for developing automated business systems that help you earn income. That means instead of developing a business around your content that requires you to scale up the work that you're doing as you become successful, I want to teach you and help you and show you what I've been able to do to build automated systems so you can focus on your content, and the people who want to take the next step and learn more about what it is that you're sharing can do so in an automated fashion without having to elevate or magnify the work that you're doing as an individual. It's great when you can create a business that's successful, but if you are the hub of that business, and as work scales or as revenue scales, your work has to scale, then that becomes a problem. And at some point it can lead you to burnout, and it doesn't give you the opportunities to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And that's what I want people to be able to do, to develop multiple revenue streams in an automated fashion that are simply going to funnel the people who are wanting those additional products and services to the appropriate places and allow them to complete that transaction without you having to do more work. That's going to open your time and schedule to do things that you're more interested in on a creative means. It's going to allow you to spend more time with your family. And those are all the things that are certainly important to me, and they may be important to you as well. I talk about creating your freedom. For everybody, that freedom is going to look a little bit different. For some, it's that time. For some, it's money. And you're going to have to figure out exactly what is most important for you and what your ultimate goal is. Like, why do you create content? Do you want to make money around your channel? Why do you want to make money? A lot of people think they want to make money, but they've never taken the time to really understand what they're going to do with that money. If you develop a super successful business, consulting, for example, and you are the prime consultant and you get enough work to do 80 hours a week, that's great. You're going to make a lot of money, but when do you get to enjoy it? So those are the things that are on my mind for 2021. Those are the things that I want to help you as creators learn about. And I want to see everybody be successful. I want to get you beyond simply monetizing your channel on YouTube in 2021. We can definitely take care of that in a year, no problem. But I want you to go beyond that and learn ways to actually develop multiple revenue streams so that they can all work towards supporting your channel and yourself and ultimately helping you create your freedom. So I'm going to jump in the chat real quick, say hello to everybody. Construction Cronies, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see what we got going on there. 49-cent Rage Hamilton, good to see you as well. And Letitia, it was a nice year for me. I discovered new hobbies. That's awesome. Adrienne Rose, I think it's been great for me. I started 2 channels, have experienced decent growth, and have been on my original channel for 4 months. Awesome. Congratulations. 2020 was a lovely year. So we have some definite positives to work on and build upon. That's excellent. Always good to see that. I had a video pick up 1.4 thousand views. That's great. It's me, Yolo Sean. Good that you have joined us as well. 2020 was pretty good for me. So generally speaking, as content creators, if you were already in the mix in 2020, for a lot of people, there were some positives because obviously, unfortunately, there were people who were stuck inside. They couldn't go out and do things. So where do they turn? They turn to the internet. One of the reasons that this medium is so powerful is that you get to create content that can be consumed by everybody in the comfort of their own home on their mobile device that, you know, that's not an opportunity that you get outside of the internet and online video. And you had an opportunity to reach out to those people in their homes and share what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that you're working on, and help grow your community. And for a lot of people, as we see in the chat, that has been positive in terms of growth. Now, 2021, let's double down on that success and learn how to make money around our content. And that's what we're really going to focus on in 2021, because I think it's the next logical step. For the last few years, I've been helping people get started on YouTube. And what I seem to see, once they get their wheels turning, they go out and they start to look for how to actually do something with the brand that they've created. And that's absolutely what we're going to help all of you do here in 2021, is figure out those different revenue streams, learn how you can get them set up, and then focus on creating content and allowing those opportunities to funnel through those various streams. So I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be fun. I have started a few different ones as well. Certainly towards the end of 2020, I started a brand new revenue stream that I hadn't even considered before, didn't know how the logistics worked, but I've walked through the process of learning what that all looks like. And I'm excited in 2021 to share it with you. Here, take a look. This video is sponsored by TubeTemplates.com. For affordable YouTube graphics, there's no better choice than TubeTemplates.com. And right now, use promo code CFSAVE25 to get 25% off your entire order. So I've been able to create an online store that provides affordable YouTube graphics called TubeTemplates.com. Completely new idea for me at the end. I think I started it in October, but it's given me a wealth of information and knowledge in terms of learning how it's actually built on Shopify. So if you ever thought about going out and creating some type of platform, an online store, e-commerce, where you could actually sell either physical products or in my case, digital products, then Shopify can be a really good option for that. I think it costs about $30 a month. So if you have a good plan and you have products that are going to be able to net you at least $30 a month, you can get started with very minimal overhead and risk. So that has certainly been a surprise to me in terms of how successful it's been. I know a lot of creators, they tend to go with this whole signature product concept. And for some people, it works amazingly. I certainly know creators that have some signature course that they spent a ton of time on, and that's how they, they focus all their sales on that. And that is great. It does take an absolute ton of work. And if you put in all that work and you don't get the results that you're looking for, that can be kind of a bummer. So what I like to do is look for opportunities to do multiple different revenue streams. I know there's going to be, differences of opinion in terms of whether that makes sense or to focus all your energy on making one really good thing. But I've certainly experienced those opportunities that I thought were going to be, slam dunks that didn't quite work out for me. So I prefer to kind of plant a bunch of seeds and then monitor them and see which ones resonate with my audience and which ones seem like they're going to be the best opportunity moving forward. So that's the way that I approach things. What's going on, Harley? Good to see you. T and Sharinda TV, good to see you as well. Road Running Buzz, welcome to the live stream. Good to see everybody tuning in out there on YouTube. Obviously, that's where my main platform is, youtube.com/creator fundamentals. And we've been there now for about 3.5 years. And I think we're closing in on 72,000 subscribers, trying to get to that silver play button here on the channel. We're hoping 2021 is going to, in fact, be that year. So let me know, how does video and audio sound? Let me know if I'm coming through clear and there aren't any issues with that. Let's see what we have here. Upload video. Making sure I'm not missing anything. And cooking in more. How can we grow when YouTube continues to reduce our subscription? So here's the thing. If YouTube is reducing your subscription, then you really need to understand where, I'm guessing you mean your subscriber count is going down. This is typically an issue from people who get subscribers in a way other than the way that they should be going to do it. If you have engaged in things like sub for sub, or you've paid for subscribers, then absolutely you should expect all of those subscribers to disappear, because that is not what YouTube wants you to do. That's against YouTube terms of service. And people are also going to naturally come and go. So one of the things that you can do to really try to maintain the legitimate subscribers that you have is to be true to the message or be true to the content that they subscribe for in the first time. If you're making videos all over the place and somebody subscribes for a cooking video, but then the next day you're doing arts and crafts, there's going to be a disconnect and they probably won't hang around. You need to understand, and that's one of the reasons we talk about focusing down on a niche, is because you want to be known for something, especially when you're first starting out. A lot of new creators look at big creators and they're like, oh, PewDiePie makes videos about everything and they all do well. Well, of course, because everybody knows PewDiePie. He is a brand all by himself. Just his name is a brand, and you are not there yet. So you really want to get focused in on a particular topic. That way, when somebody subscribes to your channel, they know that the next video that comes out is going to be more of the same, similar topic, giving them the stuff that they looked for. If you, start watching your favorite show on TV and the next episode, they change all the characters and the storyline is completely different, you're probably going to tune out because you were looking for a particular show and now it's something completely different. So you really need to understand your channel from the viewer's perspective. What is the expectation of the viewer? What value are you delivering to the viewer? And is that viewer going to come back based on the content that you're putting out next? So that is typically the reason why we see, for natural reasons, why subscribers disappear. But the most common reason that channels have big losses of subscribers are typically channels that subscribe to your channel in an artificial means. And that could have nothing to do with you and the practices that you're in. It could be, bots or something that latched onto your channel. I've certainly seen some spammy things out there in the past couple of years that seem to have increased with regularity. And hopefully YouTube is going to figure those out and get those squashed. But you can always go into your analytics and you can pull up the subscriber report. You can find a video about how to view your subscriber report on Creator Fundamentals if you're not familiar with that process. And that will actually show you the sources of where subscribers come onto your channel, most of which are probably going to be on your video pages, and where subscribers leave your channel. And a lot of times that can be YouTube closed accounts and a number of other reasons for violation of terms of service and things like that. But generally speaking, I think that it is okay and natural for subscribers to leave. You need to put out content on a regular basis that is attracting more new subscribers than you are actually losing. So that's definitely something to consider. I have probably lost 20,000 subscribers on this channel but luckily I've been able to earn more than I lose. And it's just a natural progression of your channel. People are going to come and go. They're going to appreciate your content. They're going to have new ideas and interests, and they're going to move around and may leave your channel over time. So definitely something to consider. Other people create a YouTube account, subscribe to your channel, then they stop using YouTube. And then YouTube sees those as dormant accounts and they may remove those as well. So let's see. Hit that thumbs up and show creators fundamental support. Thank you, Aaron. Definitely hit thumbs up while you are here on the live stream. So great to see everybody come and hang out with us here today. Finishing off the holiday weekend, so to speak, with New Year's. So looking forward to a very successful 2021 for everybody. I hope you're pumped and excited. There's something about January that just puts us in the mood to go out and achieve new goals. And I hope you guys are all inspired to do that. I certainly am. I'm looking very forward to the great things that are going to come in 2021. And if one of those things is your desire to actually grow your channel, start developing real income around your channel, then definitely subscribe to Creator Fundamentals here on YouTube. If you're following on Facebook, you can go to youtube.com/Creator Fundamentals. Follow me there as well. You will see me on all the other platforms, but YouTube is definitely where you're going to see the most content from Creator Fundamentals. So good to see everybody out there. Welcome, Logan. We have Simple Gluten-Free Kitchen out there as well. Carlos. Let's see here. We're going to do that. All right. It would be nice to know why subscribers unsubscribe. Normally, when one opts out, we are asked why. That would be valuable. We are asked why. That would be valuable feedback. Again, I honestly think that you get lost in the weeds worrying about why a subscriber left your channel, because I would assume that there's so many reasons that have nothing to do with you. It's probably a waste of your time to want to reflect on why people leave. Focus on making valuable content that's going to bring people in. And when you succeed at that, when you get better at that, when you learn what people are looking for and you're able to deliver that on a consistent basis, the people that leave don't matter to you. They have already spoken. They're not interested in your channel. You don't want to get in the habit of chasing those people. If somebody said, "Oh, I didn't like your last video," you don't want to have it in your head that that's okay. Well, let me fix what this one person didn't like about my video. That would be a never-ending struggle, and it would drive you absolutely insane. I've had people that tell me I talk too fast. I've had people that tell me I talk too slow, that I yell, that they can't understand me. The reality is you're not going to be something for everybody. Don't try to be. One of the popular ideas out there is figure out what you enjoy, what you're passionate about, and make a channel that finds more people like you. Don't try to cater to all these different personalities. Go out and attract people just like you who are going to share your passion for whatever the topic is that you're sharing on YouTube. It really simplifies things. You know, if you like it, you're not the only person who likes this, and create your channel to find more of you. One of the things that we do talk about is the idea of creating an avatar, or somebody who is your target audience, not individual people, but kind of a profile of what the ideal person looks like, and really think about it. And not just, if you're doing a fitness channel, well, what kind of fitness is it? Don't say, oh, somebody that's into fitness. Do somebody who likes to do yoga every morning before their coffee, or whatever the case is. Really try to understand exactly who that person is, what their day looks like, what they're interested in, what their struggles and successes might be, and really use that to cater your content to that ideal avatar out there. So let's see. The only thing you need to focus on is retention. Figure out why people click off your videos, relative audience retention, and regular retention, says Construction Cronies. Ideally, that's the name of the game. You're trying to get people to watch as long as possible. What you can do, as Construction Cronies mentions in the comments, is take a look at when people are leaving your videos. Again, you can look at those analytics in the back end of your channel in YouTube Studio, and try to, you'll have a graph and it'll show you when there's a drop off in viewership. What you can do is look at that particular place in your video and try to figure out why that is, and what you possibly can do to improve upon that in the future, because that's ultimately going to be what you're trying to do. You're trying to make those small improvements over time. You're trying to understand how to make better videos, but at the same time, don't get obsessed with this. It is a long-term marathon process, and you want to just make tweaks. Maybe there's some particular thing that you say, 75% into your video where people always drop off, like that's about all there is to it, or that's all there is, or anything that sounds like your video is about to end, but then you go on for another 5 minutes. You want to try to reduce things like that. Another thing, your end screens. A lot of times when your end screens pop up, people think the deal is done. Don't give indicators that you're about to end. Try to create your content, try to be as interesting as possible, and stick to your points without a lot of fluff. And then when it's time to go, make it really quick. I think YouTube gives you 20 seconds for your end screen. Don't use that full 20 seconds. I use 10 seconds, and I do it in such a way that I continue my video all the way through it. We actually have tubetemplates.com actually has end screen templates that you can put where you shrink your video up into the corner, or it would be up into the corner up here. And you just shrink your video and you keep talking right through. And that allows you to not go into a pre-recorded indicator that it's time to leave your channel. The better job that you can do keeping people to the very end of your videos, the more retention that you're going to have, and the better chance you have to grow your channel on YouTube, because YouTube is certainly looking at the total watch time that you're generating. They're also looking at how long people are sticking with your videos, how they're responding to your content in general. A lot of times at the beginning of your videos, you will see drop-offs, which are for a variety of reasons. A lot of time. So ideally, when I first started on YouTube, it was, you always heard about intros and outros. So it was kind of like, oh, I got to make an intro, got to make an outro. That's what professional looks like. So what you learn over time, though, is that an intro and outros tend to be areas where people leave your content. You really want to start your videos with a hook. You want to be like, in this video, I'm going to cover XYZ, or if you're doing like vlog style videos, you really want to put a piece of that video where some type of cliffhanger action happens right in the very beginning of your video. Nobody cares about your logo. Unfortunately, nobody cares about you and your really cool intro that you paid somebody on Fiverr to do. They want to know as soon as they start the video that it's going to deliver on the promise that you made in your title and your thumbnail. If you're able to do that in that first 60 seconds or first 30 seconds, then they're going to be hooked longer. They're going to wait to see how it plays out. And that's ultimately where you want to live with your content. I went from having an intro at the very beginning on my other channel, realized that really wasn't effective, to doing what's called a bumper, which is just a big splash of my logo and branding, to the point now where I don't even include that in my videos anymore because it just doesn't serve a value. People know whose channel they're on. Your channel name is below your video. Don't get lost in the, I want this to look professional and I want everybody to know who I am. We don't need like a 20-second intro like Peter McKinnon because he's done all these cool things and likes making cinematic footage and puts in that, really badass looking intro that he's done, with him on mountaintops and lakes taking pretty pictures and all that stuff. You are starting out on YouTube. You're in the early stages of YouTube. You absolutely want to keep it as concise as possible. Keep out the fluff. Don't distract people with things that don't matter. If it's not related to the title and description of your video, then you probably want to leave it out of your video as much as possible and give people max value for as long as you can and try to get them to the end of your video. So I see some new comments in the chat. We're just going to jump in and take a look here. All right, let's see. Question, Adam's Exploits. Any idea if your video conference is going to be live or virtual this summer? So I wonder if I have, let's see. For those of you who don't know, let's see, I'll do this. I am the founder of People of Video. People of Video is a live in-person conference here on the East Coast in Albany, New York, that's focused on making human connections. Obviously, in the past year, that's been kind of a foreign concept because we've all been trapped at home. But People of Video 2021 is scheduled for October. It's October 9th, 10th, and 11th. And I'm just going to verify those dates because, I'm old and sometimes my brain doesn't agree with me. But we're going to just double check and make sure it is October 8th, 9th, and 10th. 8th, 9th, and 10th, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in October 21. We're hoping everything is under control by then. So it's absolutely going to be an in-person event in Albany, New York. So if you want to meet other content creators, by October, I think we're all going to be totally jonesing to get out of the house and be able to meet people in person. Hopefully the vaccine and all that good stuff will be out there in mass use and we'll be able to meet in person. So October 2021, People of Video is absolutely scheduled to be an in-person event. I would love to see all of you there, make new friends, and find new ways to collaborate. And my goodness, just see some people in person. It's been a while. So yes, so People of Video is definitely a thing that is happening, and we're excited about that. And it is hopefully scheduled at just the right time to be able to get us all back together in a responsible way. And that is what we are absolutely going to try to do. Also, as a reminder, if you want to go to tubetemplates.com, you can save 25% with CF Save 25. That is your destination for affordable YouTube graphics. If you're joining the live stream late, then that is my website, tubetemplates.com. And we have been working to put all kinds of graphics in there. We take suggestions. So if there's something you're looking for that you don't find on the site, definitely let us know. We'll try to get that on there as well. I see some other questions. I want to jump over here and see. And all right, here, let me get into the comments. What should we do when we are getting subscribers and views from Google Ads rather than getting natural growth? Stop Google Ads. I would not use Google Ads to grow my YouTube channel. The only time that I would consider running ads for a YouTube video is if that YouTube video is specifically made to sell something and I'm trying to push conversions. And then it's just simply going to become an equation of, am I driving conversions to this video at a rate that makes sense financially? Meaning, if I'm making $100 on every conversion, but it costs me $200 to get a single conversion, then obviously that math doesn't work. But if you find that perfect mixture where it's costing you $25 to get an actual lead converted and you're making $100 on the sale, then that's pretty straightforward. It makes complete sense. That is certainly something that is worth doing. But if you're trying to grow your channel, I would not do that with ads, because yes, you may get some, but the reality is, to grow your channel to any significant size, it's going to cost you a fortune. You're not sending the right signals to YouTube in terms of organic growth. So I would frown upon taking that approach with trying to grow your channel. All right, let's see. Double check any other questions. Any ideas for a channel whose niche is older? I'm getting views and positive comments, but because my audience is older, I wonder if they know the importance of subscribing. Is that such a thing? Yes, it's absolutely a thing. There's certainly people out there who don't understand the subscribe process. There's also people, I've had questions on my channel whether subscribing costs anything, because subscription tends to be synonymous with cost. So I think it's important whenever possible, if you think that is a potential issue on your channel, to inform your audience, educate your audience, and say, hey, please, it's completely free to subscribe to my channel. If you like the content that I'm doing, click that red button, click that bell, and all it's going to do is notify you when my next video comes out. Something as simple as that. You throw it in your videos on a regular basis. You will educate your audience and teach them how to, give them that call to action, get them to subscribe to your channel, and help them understand that it's something safe that they can do that helps your channel, and there's no obligation tied to it. So yes, there can definitely be some value there. Let's see. Covered that one. What's going on, Brendan Sparks? Good to see you. Any tips for a newbie gaming channel like me? So here's my thing. It's not a complicated process. When you're starting out on YouTube, I absolutely believe in focusing on searchable content. So instead of, if you're starting out a gaming channel, be different than everybody else. A lot of gaming channels are just kind of, and no offense, but they're just kind of a lazy approach to YouTube, where they're simply playing games and then they're uploading the recording of them playing games, and there's nothing in it for the viewing audience. It's just a long, drawn out process that anybody can recreate on their content. If you want to stand out, don't just record yourself, make videos where you teach people how to do something. If you're streaming from a console, PS4, PS5, whatever the case is, that allows you to stream directly to YouTube, think about it ahead of time. Don't just play a game. Teach people how to do something. So maybe it's Fortnite. You're going to log in and say, hey, here's how you build in Fortnite. And then walk through a tutorial and actually show them, go into creative or wherever it is, and teach people how to build stuff, how to practice getting fast at building stuff, how to organize their weapons, all these little things that people who are new to that particular game are going to search for on YouTube. If you make videos like that, you're going to stand out because people are going to search to find your content. Otherwise, if you're just making play along with me and you're recording your videos and you're just uploading them, there's nothing special there. And people aren't going to just randomly, a couple people will randomly find your videos, but you really have to sell it, 150% with just an amazing personality and, charisma on recording to really capture those people. But if you're educating them, if you're giving them an opportunity and a reason to come back for more, hey, here's how to build in Fortnite. If you appreciate this video, definitely subscribe, because every week I'm sharing another video that can help you get better on Fortnite. So things like that, definitely you can do to stand out apart from people and actually leverage the power of YouTube, which is the #2 search engine in the world behind Google, to be the results, to be the answers for the questions that people are already asking YouTube every single day. All right. Do memberships on YouTube make sense? Oh, where to scroll? Do memberships on YouTube make sense when you already have a working Patreon page? That's kind of a personal preference. I had a working Patreon page. It wasn't big by any stretch of the imagination. I think I probably had 10 people on Patreon at its max, but I got rid of Patreon when I started doing channel membership. So it's just kind of a personal thing. There are pros and cons. Take a look at how much money YouTube keeps versus how much money Patreon keeps. And if you already have an established working process on Patreon, it may or may not make sense to make the move. It's really going to depend on looking at the individual factors. How big of a community have you built over there, and whether it makes sense to disrupt that in order to bring things over to YouTube and have a more centralized location for everything. All right. And Creative Fundamentals, I'm on your mailing list. I guess you'll notify us when you have discounted room rates for the conference available so I can reserve my room. Yes, absolutely. We're going to rev up the whole process of People of Video now that we're in 2021. That information on the rooms is probably going to be more like in summer. So yeah, when we have that nailed down, then I will share that information. You'll be able to book your rooms here in Albany, New York, and get set for that. There's a couple other things that I'm going to try to consider depending on the environment, and hopefully if we're in the clear. One of the things that I would like to do after the conference is provide an opportunity for a handful of people to take a trip from Albany down to New York City and kind of do a creator's day down in New York City. So we'll get the details on that as well, but definitely want to get as much opportunity for all of us as creators to hang out, hopefully after the world is a little closer to back to normal. But we'll see as we move through 2021 what that all looks like, what the time frame looks like, and we're going to do as much of that as we're able to do for sure. All right, let's see. We got that question, and I think scrolling. Hey, Zach's Tech World, good to see you. And Adventures in Dirt, Happy New Year to you as well. Albany, I'm near Utica. Awesome. Yes, I am right near Albany. Cough, hiccup. So yes, you fellow New Yorker, that's awesome. All right. So Brendan Sparks, Creative Fundamentals. How did you start with your journey in becoming part of the Nimmons, Brian G., Roberto Blake, etc. circle? Did you grow and become recognized, or did you reach out and seek growth? So that's a very interesting story. So it's funny that we're talking about People of Video, because the way that I had the opportunity to meet these amazing people, I went to, in 2017, I went to my first conference for content creators. It was one of those things where my channel wasn't established. I think I had like 600 or 700 subscribers at the time. And I looked at the advertisement for Vid Summit and like, oh, I would really like to do that, but it's not exactly cheap. And I was not in the mindset of investing in myself and trying to leverage that whole process. But had a conversation with my wife, and she encouraged me to do it. So thank you to her. And I traveled out to Los Angeles and met all these people. And one of the things that you realize when you we're kind of in this habit because we watch TV and all those things. You see people on a screen and you somehow think that that there's something different about them. But in reality, here on YouTube, we're all just people, doing our regular life thing and also creating content on YouTube. So the very first night, I literally got to the hotel in Los Angeles, and I got there right at check-in. So I got all my stuff to my room. I went and checked in, and then I walked down to the bar, and it was all these guys were hanging out. Roberto Blake was there, and Roberto was like, "Hey, we're going to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles down the road or whatever. Do you want to come with us?" And I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome." So yeah, and here's the one thing that I'll say, and everybody's different, and I understand if you're different, but I always had, when I got to that point, I always had the perspective that I wasn't going to fanboy, that I wanted to act like I've been there before, and I had the intention to be successful. And I mean, I'm still not where I want to be yet, but I continue to move forward. So that's the way that I approached it. I'm like, these are just regular people, just like me. Granted, they have the success that I'm looking for, but I really tried to approach that interaction and that relationship with the idea that they're people. They're people just like me. I'm not going to fanboy. I'm not going to be, oh my God, I'm so excited, I saw you on YouTube. I really want this to, I want them to be my peers. I'm going to act like they already are. And I'm just going to focus on what it takes and not do all those things that sometimes if you have a mindset of a fan, then you tend to put yourself in a bad place sometimes, where you're kind of, oh my God, will you collab with me? It'd be so cool, without really understanding when it's time to collab, when that makes sense, what value you were able to give to the other creators and stuff like that. So I've always been very conscious of that. I mean, I can't tell you what they thought, but I can just tell you that that's just my honest approach. I've just tried to learn the craft and do it in a respectful way, not beg people for anything. I've certainly had some great opportunities to collab with some people, which I'm absolutely grateful for. But yeah, it's kind of like if you watch a football game, I would much likely be the person to set the ball down and walk out of the end zone. I'm not going to do a dance. And I think it was Emmitt Smith, who played for the Dallas Cowboys, who said, act like you've been there before. And that's pretty much the approach that I've taken to YouTube. I'm not going to dance around, and I'm acting like I've been there, and I'm going to be back. And that's just the way I've always approached it. All right. And I am happy to be able to attend POV and Vid Summit this year because they were virtual. Awesome. In person will be killer. Man, I'd love to get you out here. I know it's quite a trip for you, but if we can get you here in October, that would be fantastic. All right. Let me scroll up, make sure I am not missing anybody. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out. I'm not ending yet. I'm just thanking everybody because it's good to see everybody. It's been a while since we've done the live stream thing. And like I said, we're going to try to get back into a more regular schedule here in 2021. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss any questions. If you have any questions, tag at Creator Fundamentals in the chat. I will be happy to answer them for you. Hello from Captain. Welcome to the live stream. Trying to get those viewers who saw that video and fit down, even though it's short. So that would be the greatest way, even though not completely good that YouTube shared it. All right. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, anytime you have a successful video on your channel, trying to understand potentially why it was successful compared to your other videos is certainly a great approach to, analyzing what your viewers are actually looking for and then trying to reproduce that as well. And hey, if you guys have anybody out there who wants to share or ask questions related to how to grow a YouTube channel in 2021, definitely share this video or this live stream out with them on social media. I will truly appreciate it. See if we can get some more people to come hang out with us. All right. And making sure, I think I got every question, but I'm going to scroll up real quick here just to make sure. Let's see. Okay. Again, if anybody has questions, tag at Creator Fundamentals. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Construction Cronies. I appreciate it. Just Samson, welcome to the live stream. We have Ann's Cooking and More. My question is above regarding my revenue. All right, let me try to find you. As a general practice, if you can, let's see, I don't see how it's possible to have people watching your ads. Okay. Why revenue gets reduced. My revenue constantly been reduced and YouTube responds to unusual behavior, or that I might be encouraging people to watch my ads. So again, I would not be running ads. Encouraging people to watch my ad. I'm not sure how the whole ads and your revenue are intermingling there, but yeah, I mean, we'd have to look into that particular issue and try to take a look at where your traffic is coming from. That's really going to be an indicator of where a problem might exist. And, you'd have to kind of dig into that to see what you would actually have to do to make it better, if at all possible. So, let's see here. Very unusual thing. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, I haven't heard of that either. Cough, hiccup. Are there any niches out there, up and coming or unexplored, that you may see that isn't already covered on YouTube? I don't have a list of those, but I also, here's the thing. I wouldn't go niche hunting to find something that you think is a great opportunity, because it's when you do something that you're naturally passionate about, it still can be a lot of hard work. To go out and find something that you don't have an interest in prior to the fact that you discovered that it might be a underserved niche. I think that's going to be a really big challenge in trying to maintain the level of discipline and consistency and persistence that's necessary to find success. I mean, you can certainly do that, but rather than try to figure out some special niche, figure out what you would enjoy making content about, and then figure out how to do it in a attractive way that allows people to come in and watch that. Certainly there are niches that, have more financial opportunities than others. You could definitely go. I know Roberto Blake has done some good videos about that, so definitely go check him out. I have not done any videos on the top niches, only because it's not really the direction that I take when coming to YouTube. I don't think of it. I think if you're chasing money, and to me, that sounds like trying to find a niche, rather than coming up with a topic that you enjoy, try to find a topic that you think is underserviced or underserved on YouTube. Is kind of feels like a way to go after, eyeballs and attention and ultimately money, that I think is going to be hard to maintain, because I've certainly seen, I've seen a ton of successful creators. I've also seen a lot of discouraged people who don't get the feedback that they need, even when they're passionate about their content. So it's got to be just, 10 times worse if it's something that you're not interested in. And you're not seeing that reward to actually make your videos when you're supposed to. I have a topic that I enjoy, but learned that the search volume interest for it is also quite low. So it is also a challenge to myself. Yeah, I mean, definitely. And don't get so caught up in that search volume. Go out there and make that content and see what happens. And, if the thing about focusing on something, you have the opportunity to kind of change the degree to which you focus or the way in which you cover a topic. I was in a live stream not too long ago, and they were talking about the idea of fitness. Now, fitness, you can have two fitness channels that are nothing alike. You can have one that is, how to live the keto lifestyle, and you can have one that is, extreme spinning, the two of which are not necessarily connected in either way, or one that is, fitness or exercise, home exercise routines for the busy professional versus, training to be a marathon runner. There's so many different ways to slice and dice things, that you really need to understand that niche is not about a specific topic as much as it is about a specific viewer interest. Always think about the topic and the content that you're making from the viewer perspective. You're trying to find a group of people who are interested in a particular thing. And then you want to learn how you can cover that particular thing that they're all interested in a way that keeps them interested. And that can be a variety of different ways. And then it will also allow you to say, okay, well, I'm doing exercise. I'm doing, 20-minute workouts for busy parents. Like, okay, well, what other things may be interesting or relevant to fitness minded busy parents? And then that kind of allows you to develop your brand and focus on the things that people are really interested in. Plus, as you start to cover that topic, you're going to get feedback from your audience to really understand the mindset of who they are and when they are, what their day looks like, when they're fitting that 20 minutes of exercise in. Is it first thing in the morning? Are they doing it after they get home from work, before dinner? Are they waiting until the kids go to bed to do it at night? All of those things can really help you to understand what it is that you're covering and really get a better understanding of the individual or the, that avatar of the person that you're trying to make content for. All right. Have topic. Okay, we covered that. Again, if anybody just joined the live stream and you want to ask a question, just tag @CreatorFundamentals in the chat, or put question in front of it so it's easier for me to find. If I haven't got to your question and you've already asked it, just ask the question again. Don't tell me to look for it, just because then it's just makes for really boring live stream if I'm sitting here like this scrolling through comments. So if you have a question and I haven't answered it yet, just repost it and I'll keep an eye on the newest comments to make sure that we don't miss anybody. My blocks strongest man. I have my first potential collab coming up soon. I just contributed meaningfully on his channel, and he offered to collab after looking at my channel. Very exciting. That's an awesome way. When you're thinking about collaborations, when you're trying to grow your channel, it starts with those human connections. Form a relationship with somebody before you ask them for something. I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a business, like a kind of like business social media. It's more of a professional network. And I'll tell you what, if somebody friends me or tries to connect with me and the first message they send me is trying to sell me something, I immediately disconnect from that person, because I truly believe that what we're doing is about human connection and relationships. And if you are going to connect with me simply to try to sell me something, don't market a marketer. It doesn't make sense. And I don't know why people continue to do that. I think it's a horrible approach. But as we see here, it's a great opportunity when you make natural relationships, when you give first and develop a relationship with other creators, then things like collaborations become much more natural. I mean, there are a ton of people that I've interacted with who subscribe to my channel that I would absolutely say yes to in a heartbeat, regardless of the size of their channel, because we've established a relationship. But if you just come from out of nowhere and you simply want to collaborate with somebody because you think their numbers are going to help grow your channel, then your whole mindset is backwards. You want to be able to give value. And if you're in a position where you can't give value, then that's okay. But it's important to understand that relationship should go both ways. And you have the opportunity. I'm not going to go to a channel that has 1 million subscribers and say, hey, let's collab. I can get you more subscribers, because in reality, they're bringing in a lot more than I can ever deliver to them. But if it's somebody that I have a relationship with, I'm probably in a much better place to try to come up with a collaboration. But even having that relationship, I'm not going to simply take advantage of the relationship because I want them to grow my channel. If I have a legitimate reason of how I could bring value in some way, then I would pitch that. But I'm not going to chase them because their channel's bigger and just simply try to leech off of that effect. I mean, and again, I've certainly worked with bigger channels, and I've certainly had gained more value than I have given in some cases. But that's, ultimately that happens somewhere, but it all starts with those relationships. All right. I film trains for my channel, which can't really be optimized other than footage and thumbnails. Any other ways to increase exposure to train enthusiasts like me? So I think you could absolutely optimize that footage. So and again, I don't know what you mean by optimize. Are you talking about if you're trying to optimize the SEO in terms of getting people to find the content? Then absolutely you can optimize that. You can figure out what the common search terms are that people are using, the different scales of railroad, the different things that people are looking for, how to achieve certain how to achieve certain scenes, or how to build certain sets, or whatever it is, or maintenance on the rails and the trains, all those kind of things, just to see how people are looking for it. So rather than doing and I don't know if you're simply doing like scenic scenes, like making, little mini movies that are set in, this railroad world. But there can be opportunities to go beyond that. Again, and it just depends on what it is that you aim to provide. And it could be a situation if your entire channel is focused on more of a cinematic, fantasy kind of image of the rails, and you don't want to mix that with searchable content, for example, you could always do a secondary channel of like how-tos and, work the two channels together. But if you do a little bit of both, I would absolutely look into helping people who want to achieve what you're doing in your videos by giving them some of the education side of the process, and optimizing those videos for search so people can find them and in turn find your channel and become interested in it. But yeah, you can also do, and as Harley mentioned down below, I've done compilations, but that's the furthest I've gotten. I'm interested in, I would think, yeah, if you have like a really scenic trail, railroad setup, you could kind of go with that storytelling approach and try to make it a little mini movie kind of thing set in the world of those model trains. All right. Wing T Production says, whoa, okay. I don't know what that's about, but welcome to the live stream. Just subscribed. I like you so far, brother. Well, hey, I hope I don't ruin that before the end of the live stream. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Lancashire Lass, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Rizwan Mation, hello to you. Welcome to the live stream. And make sure I didn't miss anything out there. Let's see. We want to do real quick. For those of you who don't know, I started this channel in 2017. One of my biggest supporters the entire time for this channel has been TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy does sponsor the channel. So if you're not familiar with TubeBuddy, take a look. And hey, don't forget this video has been sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is your #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free. There's a link in the description below, or you can go to trytubebuddy.today and get started for free. So I've been using TubeBuddy since I started my other channel, which is We Love RV Camping. So if you happen to be an RV camping enthusiast, you can definitely check out my other channel, We Love RV Camping. But I've been using them well before they sponsored this channel, and they are just amazing people behind the scenes who run that company. So I've always appreciated everything they've done for the community, and they just continue to give and give us that opportunity to use a great tool that helps us grow our channel. So definitely check out TubeBuddy. If you're not familiar with them, you can go to trytubebuddy.today as that little spot indicated, and sign up for free and check them out. And what it is a plugin that you install on your browser, and it overlays tools right on YouTube, which is really helpful. So you can see things like keyword research and keyword phrases that might be relevant to the video that you're uploading. A lot of cool stuff that can help your channel grow. Evolutionary Tom, Dan, for affiliate opportunities, do you also make video reviews as an Amazon influencer, not the regular Amazon associate program? That's something that I have looked into. I don't do it for creator fundamentals. That's not part of what I'm trying to do here. But one of the ways that I am strongly considering elevating that other brand, We Love RV Camping, is to get into the Amazon. I believe I have access to the live streaming capability on Amazon as an Amazon. I'm not sure if it's part of the Amazon influencer or it's a separate acceptance process, but that can certainly be a good way. And for anybody who has the opportunity, doing product reviews, I have seen just be a massive, massive opportunity for growth on YouTube. If you're focused on a particular type of product, whether it be tech, or in my case, what I'm probably going to do is RV camping type supplies and things like that. One of the things they always struggled with that other channel is what to do in the winter, because when we weren't RV camping. And I think I'm going to turn to product reviews of stuff that I use in the camping process, because those things, they're evergreen, they last forever. People are constantly looking for feedback on products, and it's a great way to get your content out there and eyeballs on them. The video reviews can certainly be a good way to get those on Amazon in the actual review section of a particular product. I personally have not gone down the path to do that, but I can definitely see how it would be of great value. I don't know what Amazon's rules are for promoting your YouTube channel, for example, within those videos. So you want to make sure you review that and you're not doing anything that violates your standing on Amazon, but definitely a ton of opportunity. And if you haven't looked into the ability to live stream, you can actually do live streams that get posted on Amazon for a particular product, and you can actually get affiliates for the stuff that sells during your live stream. So that can be a good way to make some money as well. Ken G, thanks for the advice, Dan. Love the channel. I'm trying to very slightly pivot my channel from technical tutorials to project-based videos like Mark Rober. Any advice? Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously Mark Rober is an all-star. So if you are trying to go in that direction, I would try to do it in steps, perhaps. Maybe you, obviously he's like the pinnacle of where you want to get with your stuff, and you can certainly do that. I would probably mix in one of those. I would probably do one and see how my audience responds to it, and kind of go from there. Or you could do, if you're doing like technical tutorials and, they're somehow related to those projects, maybe you could use those technical tutorials to build up to a particular idea and say, hey, today we're going to cover this, cell phone. Hey, I wonder if I could use this cell phone to, communicate with this device from a distance, or blah, 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 those kind of things. And then kind of test your audience and say, hey, if you want me to do a full scale project, let me know in the comments below, see what your audience says, see how they respond. And then you can decide whether to go based on their feedback or not. You can always try it and see how the audience responds. Something also to consider though, look at your analytics. For a lot of us, like, it's absolutely important to create a brand that is focused. But when you look at your analytics, you'll probably see that a very large percentage of your viewers are non-subscribers. That means a lot of your content goes out to a bunch of people who aren't currently subscribed. So if you do want to pivot, that is something to consider, that you want to say, is this pivot going to still be interesting to my existing audience? And if I bring in new people who are focused on these project-based videos, are they going to find interest in the older content? Because what you don't want is two competing audiences. Then it becomes really hard to satisfy everybody. But if you can kind of make that pivot either over time, because you're, like I said, you're always losing subscribers, you're always gaining subscribers, and maybe there's an opportunity to kind of slowly work your way into that, and get the appreciation of your audience to shift in that direction. But again, look at your analytics, understand what your viewership is coming from, and then start to test the waters and see how that particular concept is going to fly with them, and do some tests in terms of making the longer videos and seeing how, if you're able to get the proper reach and attention on YouTube. And if so, just keep running with it. I do 3D animation on my YouTube channel, ? I don't know. Do you? That's twice you asked that question. I don't know if you do or not. I'm guessing you would know. But that's awesome if you're doing 3D animation. Keep it up. If you're asking, can you do 3D animation? I don't see why you couldn't, if that's something that you're passionate about. But yeah, I mean, you can pretty much do almost anything on YouTube, as long as it's not against the law or any other rules of YouTube. Dan, would you recommend posting your URL under trending videos for... No, absolutely not. Do not spam other people's content to promote yourself ever, 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 ever. So first of all, like my channel won't let you post a URL. It'll immediately block that link. And in most cases, you'll probably be reported for spam and your channel will be shut down. So do not try to promote yourself on other people's videos. If you want to leverage a strategy on trending videos, here's what you do. You watch the video, you come up with a meaningful response, and you share it with that audience. If that audience finds your channel or your response interesting, your link, every comment has a link back to your channel. You don't have to create one. They can click on your icon and get back to your channel on every comment that you've ever made. That is the appropriate way to try to get attention on trending topics. Not, hey, come look at my stuff because it's really cool. It's, hey, I watched this video. Here are my thoughts on this video. And if people decide that they're interested in your opinion and your take and they want to look into you more, they will naturally click on your icon. They will go to your channel and they'll see what you're creating. But definitely do not promote your content on trending videos, because it's a bad look. It's going to get you kicked off of YouTube, and ultimately it's probably going to have very little to do with the success of your channel. If you do get some attention that way, it's going to be from other people who are trying to trade attention, which is basically nothing more than sub for sub. And it's against YouTube's terms of service, and it's not going to help your channel. And you're going to get discouraged because you're going to be on a live stream here in a couple months asking why those subscribers were taken off, or why YouTube has stricken your channel or shut it down. And that is definitely not the direction that you want to take. Harley says, I just deleted a bunch of comments from one person who was spamming links. So yeah, I mean, there you go. That is the nature of it. But hey, I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out on this live stream. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate it after having not been out here a while. Hey, Brick Advice, see you out there. Good to see you on the live stream. But we just crossed the hour and we're going to wrap it up right now. So thanks again for coming and hanging out, and stay tuned. We're going to be doing live streams more often here on Creator Fundamentals. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go to youtube.com/Creator Fundamentals and subscribe and click the bell so you're alerted to future live streams and content on the channel. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next video.